Good afternoon, Honorable Minister, Director General, Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, and partners. My name is Pauli Studis, and I'm responsible for the Social and Human Sciences Program at the UNESCO Regional Office for the Caribbean. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the launch of Jamaica's Artificial Intelligence Readiness Assessment report. We sincerely thank the Office of the Prime Minister for hosting us at Jamaica House, a historic building with this impressive backdrop. Today marks an important milestone, reflecting a shared commitment to advance the ethical, inclusive, and responsible use of AI, guided by evidence and strengthened through collaboration and collective engagement. Without further delay, we will begin today's program. Please welcome me in joining Mr. Christopher Record, Chairman of the National AI Task Force.
Thank you very much, MC Paula. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Minister, Dr. Eleni, UNESCO, head of UNESCO, Ambassador Ascola, and of course all the RAM experts, my friend Erica, PS, and all the other folks that are here. I bring greetings from the AI Task Force. AI Task Force members, just please stand and just be recognized so anybody can just throw things at you, just in case they didn't agree with the task force. Right? Thank you very much. And I also bring greetings from I would say, the organizations that believe that technology and digital, we can create a successful digital future for Jamaica. So, in addition to bringing greetings, since I have the mic, Minister, I'm going to just say a few additional things because I'm up here. So, I want to briefly share where I think Jamaica can win, right? Can win in the AI race. So just yesterday, I was on stage in Atlanta sharing with over 900 AI developers that while Jamaica is the fastest country in the world, you know, we're the fastest man, the fastest woman, and we've been winning sprints after sprints, we're not going to win, we may not win the global race to manufacture the best AI chips, right? We may not win the race to create the biggest and the fastest and most powerful AI models. We didn't win the football match last night either, right? Those who know. So, but there is a race that we can win, Minister. We can win the AI services race, right? We can win that for sure. So today is more than just a report launch. It is showing Jamaica the way how we can do it. We all know, most of us in the room know and understand that AI is here. It's in work, it's in government, it's in our play, it's us watching any of the various, Netflix or anything that we're doing. It's been with us for a while, even though people don't realize that you're using it. So let me just paint 3 quick scenarios that if Jamaica chooses, we can lead as an AI service provider. Scene 1, the Jamaican AI-enabled professional. Teachers, nurses, accountants with AI support that handles the routine, so people focus on judgment, empathy, and quality. Productivity rise, earnings rise, and confidence increases. Not because we're replacing the body, because that's what everybody's worried about, because we augmented, because we upgraded the people. Scene 2, and this is one that in this room, Minister and PS and CTD, very important, the Jamaican AI-powered public service. Imagine, right? Let's imagine applying for birth certificate, applying for business registration, applying for permit. I just applied for my driver's license. Guys, it used to take 1 day. Why is it now taking 5 or 10 days? Anyway, let's not talk about that. No endless back and forth. No mystery delays. Just a government that feels like a modern service organization. Secure, data-driven, citizen-centered. AI becomes the engine for better delivery. Strong governance, so trust is protected. Last scene. Jamaica as a regional AI services hub. Picture teams in Kingston, Montego Bay, Christiana, Portmore, Spanish Town, exporting skills in data governance, cybersecurity, AI assurance, and process automation, training and sector. We recently saw a big almost demonstration where an organization who's making some investment in Jamaica held a hackathon, and first hackathon, over 1,000 people registered. The last one, almost 1,500 people registered. And so, you know, this organization believes that this is possible. Organization, Intelibus, who has a dream and a wish to hire up to 10,000 Jamaicans to be located here, providing those services globally. So that future is worth building. But we only get there for the two things. We move with urgency, because this wave is not waiting on us. And second, if we move with responsibility. So the AI Readiness Assessment tells us where we are strong, where we are exposed, and where we must act on skills and data. So my call is simply this. To government, let's turn readiness into execution, right? To academia, let's produce talent at speed. To private sector, let's not wait on the perfect time. Start building use cases, start training teams. And to our international partners, thank you. Thank you for staying with us, and thank you to be here when we move from the assessment to implementation. Jamaica can become known not just as a place of culture and creativity, but as a place that trusted AI-enabled services built by Jamaicans for Jamaica and exported to the world. Let's build that Jamaica together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you as well for the invaluable support that we received from the AI Task Force during the course of these months to develop the RAM. I will now like to invite Mr. Eric Fault, Regional Director and Representative for the UNESCO Office for the Caribbean, to give remarks.
Thank you very much, Paula. Honorable Dr. Andrew Whitley, Minister of Science, Technology and Special Projects, Director General of UNESCO, Mr. Khaled El-Anani, Mr. Rodriguez Ruiz, Head of Cooperation for the European Union, Mr. Christopher Reckford, Chairman of the National Artificial Intelligence Task Force, ladies and gentlemen and partners. Today we really gather at, I would say, the intersection of vision and action at a moment when technology and human values converge. The launch of Jamaica's Readiness Assessment Methodology Report is not just a national milestone. It is, I'm sure, going to be a beacon for the region at large, a statement that the future of AI will be shaped by ethics, responsibility, and also collective purpose. Just to go back in time just a little bit, I need to remind everyone, or at least those who are not aware, that back only in 2021 at UNESCO, there was a very significant moment when all member states of the organization adopted a recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence. It was meant at the time, it was brand new and groundbreaking, it was meant to be a global compass, including, of course, all countries adopted it, including, of course, countries in the Caribbean. And it affirmed a simple but profound principle, which is that as our tools, technological tools, grow in power, our commitment to human dignity must grow even stronger. The RAM, as we call it, RAM assessment methodology, brings this principle to life. It has now been conducted in over 70 countries all over the world. And it is a framework that allows nations to plan, to prepare, ensuring that AI serves the public good, strengthens societies, and protects the freedoms of all. I want to tell you that this was actually one of the most important elements in the discussion that our Director General, Mr. El-Anani, and the Prime Minister had just moments ago, shortly after the arrival of the Director General here in Jamaica. I think that today we're marking an achievement, and it is a remarkable achievement, through an inclusive process. That is always something that UNESCO professes, engaging hundreds of participants across government, academia, civil society, and also the private sector. The nation has now mapped its AI landscape with care and insight. This is not just an assessment. It is also, I think, a statement of values, and that's what we always, from the UNESCO perspective, support. Inclusivity, I've already mentioned that name. Evidence-based, very important, obviously, and it represents also important possibilities for decision-making and altogether ethical foresight. Jamaica is truly today showing the world how a small island nation can lead with courage, intelligence, and humanity. The report, of course, is obviously not a beginning. It is obviously just a beginning. It's not a conclusion. It's when we talk about artificial intelligence, it is something that evolves almost every day, as I'm sure the Minister will underline. So we hope that this report will chart a path forward, a path, yes, where AI supports resilience, innovation, and sustainable development. Also a path where technology amplifies human potential rather than replaces it. I think this is clearly one of the fears that everybody has in government and also among the people. It is an invitation to imagine what is possible when ethics guide innovation, when inclusivity drives policy, and when knowledge simply is shared for the benefit of all. This vision extend also, and that's something that I want to mention, the vision of UNESCO extends beyond AI. Last year, UNESCO member states, we're always trying to be at the forefront of what needs to be done, adopted the recommendation on the ethics of neurotechnology. This new groundbreaking document addresses technologies that can record, interpret, and even influence brain activity. It's a little mysterious to me, but I think this is important that we all look at all of these issues. And this second recommendation was similarly groundbreaking. Across AI, neurotechnology, and also emerging technological frontiers, the message is the same. And that's, I think, something that we underline all the time. As technology evolves, our commitment to human dignity must continue to guide how we govern its development. UNESCO stands firmly with Jamaica today and always to implement the recommendations of the RAM that we're launching today, and hopefully to try to accompany you as you translate insight into policy and to turn aspiration into tangible action. We're very proud to support a nation that is demonstrating leadership, not only for its citizens, as I've said earlier, but for the Caribbean at large, and I would dare say for the world. And in closing, I don't want to be too long, I want to certainly recognize the government of Jamaica, particularly the Office of the Prime Minister, the National Task Force, AI Task Force, for their dedication, the lead RAM experts for guiding this process, and of course, as always, the European Union for its steadfast support in this endeavor and many others. Most of all, I want to thank the citizens, experts, and stakeholders who shared their voices, who shared their time and their vision. Obviously, they could not all be here today, but I hope that through this event, they can be recognized. This report is a testament to a future in which technology serves humanity, justice, and shared prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director Fault, for underscoring UNESCO's commitment to human-centered and ethical AI. It is now my pleasure to welcome Mr. Aniceto Rodriguez-Ruiz, Head of Cooperation of the European Delegation, who is representing today Her Excellency Dr. Arias Cola, European Union Ambassador to Jamaica, Belize, and the Bahamas, to deliver remarks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Sorry. Dr. Honorable Andrew Whitley, Minister without portfolio at the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibilities for science, technology and special projects. Professor Khaled Al-Anani, the Director General of UNESCO. Ambassador Rocky Mido, Permanent Secretary of the Office of the Prime Minister. Eric Fault, Regional Director and Representative of UNESCO Regional Office, Mr. Christopher Record, Chairman of the National AI Task Force, but also to all friends from the diplomatic corps, the government of Jamaica, different ministries, departments and agencies, UNESCO, other UN agencies, press, and dear friends, good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to stand here before you representing Ambassador Eria Ascola today at the launch of this Jamaica's AI Readiness Assessment report. This is a significant milestone that takes Jamaica one step further on its journey of responsible technological advancement and innovation. This comes in support of economic growth. In a world that is increasingly defined by digital interconnectivity, nations that optimize the power of technology lead in prosperity, resilience, and innovation. Today is still another example of Jamaica's proactive stance in implementing its digital transformation agenda, confidently and purposefully putting in place the visions, tools, skills, and vision required to do so. In this context, together, the work of the AI Task Force and Jamaica's AI Readiness Assessment provides a blueprint of the country to maximize the opportunities that artificial intelligence offers. The responsible integration of EA into Jamaica's socio-economic space can support many things. But essentially, on the public sector side, it can enhance efficiency of public services in general. On the private sector side, can contribute to greater competitiveness among business and the emergence of new sectors that drive jobs creation and economic growth. Jamaica's commitment to achieving an inclusive digital society and economy underscores its strategic vision for sustainable growth. By leveraging AI, Jamaica enhances its ability to mitigate challenges, adapt to rapid changes, and seize future opportunities. This AI Readiness Assessment is proof of the forward-thinking policies and practices that Jamaica is implementing to ensure its digital resilience. The European Union has been, for 51 years now, a long-standing partner in Jamaica's journey. The European Union is proud to contribute to this transformative path. On the digital side, and beside the support to this report, we have a very strong digital portfolio shared with Jamaica, including supporting the integration of digital competency into the curricula of all publicly funded teacher training institutions, expanding broadband internet access to schools across the country, and also the provision of digital transitioning support services for Jamaican MSMEs, as well as enhancing the competitive environment of the telecommunications sector. Also, on a more wider regional aspect, the whole Latin America and the Caribbean, the European Union is partnering with all these countries through the EU LAC Digital Alliance, where Jamaica, I have to say that is one of the most active and proactive actors and is leading in the Caribbean region on this regional EU-funded program. In addition to this partnership with Jamaica, we have also a long-standing partnership with UNESCO, and this funding, this Jamaica AI Readiness Assessment, is just a token of this also long-standing partnership with UNESCO. As we go forward, let us reaffirm our commitment to innovation, collaboration, resilience. Together, we can achieve much more than we can do individually. Then, thank you very much. Congratulations to everyone involved in making this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rees, for the valuable intervention. The European Union has been an essential partner in advancing global standards for responsible AI, and we are grateful for the meaningful partnership. We are also honored by the presence of the Honorable Andrew Whitley, Minister with a portfolio with responsibility for science, technology, and special projects, and invite him to share his address.
Thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Director General, Dr. Khaled El-Enani, the Director General for UNESCO and Jamaica's friend. Mr. Eric Falt, you know, your support through UNESCO to Jamaica is something that we take note of. Thank you, sir. Representative from the European Union, our Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Rocky Mead, distinguished colleagues from government, the private sector, academia, and civil society, members of the National Artificial Intelligence Task Force. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Office of the Prime Minister. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure and a privilege to stand before you on this occasion. One that marks not simply the launch of a report, but a defining moment in Jamaica's journey towards becoming a responsible, innovative, and inclusive digital society. Today we publicly present the UNESCO Jamaica Artificial Intelligence Readiness Assessment Report, a rigorous evidence-based diagnostic of where Jamaica stands in the preparedness to adopt, govern, and benefit from artificial intelligence. And as most Jamaicans are, we are very proud. And I want to begin with a point of national pride. And that is Jamaica is among the first Caribbean countries to complete a national AI Readiness Assessment using UNESCO's global methodology. I want that to settle in for a few seconds. In a region still finding its footing in the governance of emerging technologies, Jamaica chose not to wait and see. We chose to lead. We chose to examine ourselves honestly, to engage our stakeholders broadly, and to produce a credible, internationally validated account of our AI readiness. That decision, ladies and gentlemen, very deliberate, disciplined, and forward-looking, is a direct reflection of how seriously this government takes the responsibility of adopting artificial intelligence. And I must say that this is not by chance or an accident. It is the result of sustained institutional commitment, beginning with the establishment of the National AI Task Force in August of 2023, the delivery of our National AI Policy recommendations in September 2024, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the completion of this UNESCO Readiness Assessment. As you can see, step by step, Jamaica has been building the foundation of a coherent, ethical, and people-centered national AI agenda. I want to express the government's deep appreciation to UNESCO for its partnership in this undertaking. The AI Readiness Assessment methodology, developed following UNESCO's landmark 2021 recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence, provides a principled, globally benchmarked framework for member states to assess their preparedness across 5 critical dimensions: legal and regulatory, technological and infrastructural, economic, social and cultural, and scientific and educational. Jamaica is proud to have embraced this framework with the seriousness it deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, this report is the product of months of collaboration and honest self-examination. It reflects the voices of almost 200 Jamaicans, researchers, entrepreneurs, government officials, young people, and community representatives who participated in this process over the months. Notably, nearly half of those participants were women, a fact that speaks to the inclusive spirit in which this work was conducted. The task force served as our steering committee, bringing expertise from across the private sector, academia, government, and civil society. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Christopher Record, the chairman, and every member of that body for their exceptional commitment and service to this nation. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what does this assessment tell us? It tells us that Jamaica has real strengths to build on. Our Data Protection Act, our Cybersecurity Act, provides meaningful foundation for digital governance. We have a young, digitally engaged population, a growing technology ecosystem, and a cultural footprint that is disproportionately large relative to our size. One that makes Jamaican-rooted AI innovation uniquely positioned to resonate in global markets. But this report also speaks candidly about where we must go and what we must do. We need AI-specific legislation addressing accountability, biases, and explainability. We need stronger institutional infrastructure for AI governance, including a National AI Oversight and Implementation Council. We must expand AI education from early childhood through tertiary and vocational levels, close the gender gap in STEM, and scale community-based AI literacy across the country. We must leverage AI as a driver of national productivity in agriculture, tourism, healthcare, and public services, while at the same time creating the investment conditions that attract partnership and capital. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not abstract ambitions. The report provides concrete, time-bound recommendations, and the government of Jamaica is committed to acting on them all. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, the next chapter is already underway. With both the National AI Policy recommendations and the UNESCO's Readiness Assessment now complete, we are moving forward with the drafting of Jamaica's National AI Policy, anchored in our Vision 2030, grounded in UNESCO's AI ethics principles, and shaped through continued national dialogue. This policy will be developed transparently, submitted through the proper channels to the Cabinet, and go through the Cabinet process to ensure that we have the widest input as is possible, and implemented through a dedicated coordination framework. Being among the first in the Caribbean to complete this assessment gives us both a head start and a responsibility. A responsibility to demonstrate that small island developing states can govern transformative technology wisely. A responsibility to our citizens, to our region, and to the generations of young Jamaicans who will live and work in an AI-shaped world. To UNESCO, to the European Union, and to all our partners, thank you for walking this journey with us. To every Jamaican who contributed to this process, your voice is in this report, and your voice will shape the policy that follows. Jamaica, ladies and gentlemen, is not a passive observer in the global AI revolution. We are an active, principled, and determined participant. And today's launch is proof of that. We were among the first in our region to do this work. We intend to be among the first to show what responsible AI governance truly looks like in practice. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for your leadership and reflections on Jamaica's vision for an innovative and inclusive digital future. I take this opportunity to thank our distinguished speakers for the insightful remarks which have set the tone for today's launch. It is now my pleasure to invite Ms. Erica Simmons, lead expert for the RAM in Jamaica, who will present the key findings of the assessment. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. With all protocols observed, I would like to thank my business partner, Trudy Hable. I want to extend a special thanks to her for working with us on this report. I want to also thank Ambassador Rocky Mead, who wrote our intro letters, to Ms. Joaquin Murray and Mr. Cecil McCann for all your support in the meetings. And in addition, I want to also thank Mr. Christopher Record and the chair of the AI Task Force for his support in facilitating meetings with the task force, as well as with many private sector organizations. To the colleagues at UNESCO, Paula and Yang, who provided the right guidance to shepherd this project, I thank you. And before I start, I just want to acknowledge the Broadcasting Commission of Jamaica, Mr. Green and Ms. Sasha, for their vision and support in artificial intelligence. Way back in 2019, they were the first people that came and talked about AI in the way that many of us are thinking today. I just have a couple of slides that I am going to go through, but most of them have already been talked about. And I'll start here. We had over 196 participants engaged across all of the sectors of government, private sector, academia, or civil society, and youth. We ran 7 national consultation sessions, which were 2 hours each. We had 9 executive interviews, and we also executed 5 structured surveys across the key dimensions, which are the infrastructure, the workforce, our economy, education, the social impact, and our policy and governance. This was not a theoretical exercise. It was really a national diagnostic, a benchmark, and one of the most comprehensive AI readiness efforts in the Caribbean. Some of the findings, what we found is Jamaica has a strong foundation in place. Governance is in motion, like we talked about. The Open Data Policy, the National AI Task Force, our Data Protection Act. The stakeholder alignment was real, as I talked about, with really great collaboration and feedback across all of the sectors, public sector, academia, and civil society. On the part that we need to work on, we have some challenges with our infrastructure here in Jamaica to facilitate the AI future. We have active transformation in process. We have early AI adoption, and we do have an education sector that is credible and strong. What this indicates is this is not an early stage readiness. This is a country already moving, as we talked about, and really now we got to think about how we go faster and how we scale. Where are the gaps? We've identified some of those already. We need an AI-specific law, and I'm happy to hear the minister say that one will be tabled soon. We have a lot of data regarding our workforce that's missing, right? We don't know how many people in the country are actually performing AI jobs. The skills supply also is unknown to some extent, and we have talent gaps. How that is showing up really is in our R&D investment. So our R&D investment stands at 0.06% of GDP, which is quite low. And I think in the digital transformation mission and vision for 2030, we talked about it being at least 0.5% of GDP. So innovation comes from research and development, so we really should be focused on increasing in that area. We have frequent power outages in Jamaica, and data costs remain high. The adoption is a bit uneven also across the country. We heard a lot of people, of course, in the academic tertiary sector, obviously working on AI, but when we delved a little bit deeper into primary and secondary schools, there was still a lot of need for even just basic education on artificial intelligence, how to use the internet and interpret the data. And we do have a little bit of a gender gap. We see that women are doing well in math and science subjects until they get to college, and we're not really seeing them graduate with the technical degrees. So we have to figure out what the issue is there. We have a rural access gap. Anybody that lives in the country knows that we have access challenges. So these gaps, I believe, are all solvable. but they do require coordination and investment. Okay, so here are 7 really easy path forward actions that can drive impact and will in the future determine our national leadership. So yes, the AI governance and the establishment of our legal frameworks and oversight is key and important. We do need to make sure that we're driving AI literacy down into the primary sector, also with elderly people. And I would say in the assessment, I heard from the Librarians Association of Jamaica, and they said that they would be pleased to facilitate any meetings at their libraries that would bring that literacy forward. Industry is adopting AI, and we heard from many private sector organizations that said that they are implementing AI in their operations, so that's great. We need more. The infrastructure, again, is key, and you know, after the hurricane, we're rebuilding our complete infrastructure, so hopefully we will see some improvements in that in the future. Small and medium-sized businesses actually have an important role to play in our digitalization and our maturity with AI. And so we're recommending for the small and medium-sized businesses that we provide those digital tools to them, like cloud access, resources that they can use to develop their small business. And lastly, this recommendation around climate action and sustainability was completed before the hurricane that happened in October. But I guess we were being a little bit forward in saying that we should be using artificial intelligence to help us mitigate the damages caused by climate change. And that can happen in a couple of ways. Obviously, we can do things like modeling to determine the weather patterns using artificial intelligence. But even more important, we can model supply chain response to disasters. So I would encourage the government to continue to do that. All in all, I would just like to congratulate the nation of Jamaica, I'm a proud Jamaican as well, on the completion of this report, and I look forward to supporting any action that you're going to take outside of this report going forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Erica, for an excellent and evidence-based presentation and all the hard work that you and Trudy did over the last few months to prepare this report. The full RAM report can be accessed in the QR code at the bottom of your agendas as well. We will now proceed for the next segment of our program, which is the official handover of the Artificial Intelligence Readiness Assessment report. We need 1 minute to set up the room accordingly. Thank you. All right. So now this handover reflects our shared commitment to advancing ethical, inclusive, and responsible AI governance in Jamaica. It is my honor to invite Director Eric Fault to formally present Jamaica's Readiness Assessment Methodology Report to Minister with Responsibility for Science, Technology, and Special Projects, Honorable Andrew Wheatley. May I kindly ask that you both, and we will be joined by Director General Mr. Khaled as well. We'll ask you for a nice photo pose for the handover. And I now have the honor of also inviting Director Fault and Director General to present the Readiness Assessment Methodology Report to the representative, Mr. Ruiz, from the European Union as well. And for a photo presentation. Now we kindly ask Minister Wheatley to please come on stage so we can, or not? For the four, would it be possible? For the European Union, Minister Wheatley, and UNESCO. Exactly, yes. For a photo for the press, please, to mark this important occasion. Yes, we can also invite the members of the task force, of the AI task force, to join for a photo. Do we have the members of the AI task force? Please don't be shy. You stood up earlier. Yeah, Erica. And with that, we come to, we're going here. So I think we will close the... Thank you so much, everyone. We now come to the closing of today's program. On behalf of UNESCO and our partners, I would like to extend our sincere appreciation to all distinguished speakers, guests, partners, for your valuable contributions and engagement. Your presence today reflects a strong collective commitment to shaping an AI ecosystem in Jamaica that is inclusive, responsible, and aligned with Jamaica's national development priorities. Thank you. We invite you now for refreshments and networking outside. Thank you all for coming, and have a lovely afternoon.